Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I've decided to review this M4A3 model kit from a company called New Ray. This video will be in a similar vein to my tank in a tin review, so if you enjoyed that one, you might find this one entertaining as well. Let's start out with the packaging. In the top left corner we have the company logo and I assume the product number. On the bottom is the name, scale, age range, piece count, and a symbol stating that no glue is required. It's all self-explanatory stuff. There's also a picture of the tank. Most interesting is the open face of the box. Showing off the parts inside is uncommon for most model kits. This isn't exactly a normal model kit, however. I'll explain that in a little bit. The back of the box has some pictures of the completed vehicle, including some genuinely nice studio pictures of it. There is one hilariously glaring detail I've noticed. In these promotional pictures, things that are supposed to make the product look its absolute best, where every detail should be perfect so they can sell it better, one thing is very, backwards. It's the treads on the right side. Not only are they on backwards, but they aren't even on the sprocket properly. This isn't in just this one picture either, it's in 3. Technically more if you count the repeated images. Is this a good sign for things to come? No, not at all. Let's put it together for ourselves and then judge it. The parts are all pressure fit in this big plastic sheet, and some of the smaller ones are a tiny bit difficult to get out, but mostly just need pushed from the back. Everything needed to assemble the tank is included. Remember how the box said there's no need for glue? This is because the whole tank is held together by screws. Now, screwing the model together wouldn't be that much of a problem and would make it much quicker to finish the tank. However, I came across several problems that probably got past quality control and made the construction a little less smooth. First off, the flash, or excess plastic, is pretty abundant. Mold seams are already bad enough, but this stuff is more annoying. Most of it is on the suspension bogie segments. However, one piece was covering one of the holes that a screw was supposed to go in. Speaking of suspension bogies, one of them was completely broken right out of the box. Instead of the screw hole, like the 5 other ones, this one just has a channel carved into it. Also, the sprocket wasn't aligned properly with itself, so the treads didn't sit right. Thankfully, I was able to fix this with brute force. After all of the problems during building were either dealt with, filed down, or straight up ignored, I put the last piece on. The turret. Yeah, it's only one piece. And here's the tank. At first glance, it doesn't look bad. Unlike those which shall not be named, this actually looks like the tank it's supposed to be. Upon closer inspection though, something is a bit off. This isn't exactly a normal model kit. Here's the dead giveaway. Clearly, this was originally some kind of motorized toy at some point in its life. And as a toy, this would have been really fun. All the wheels move, the plastic feels nice and tough, and it scales well with classic Green Army men. In fact, if you could find the right internal parts and knew how to make this thing work, it would be a great project and motorized toy. The sad part is that this is being sold as a model. Even this giant sticker on the bottom says so. So to look at it as a model, the problems it has really begin to show. The visible screws, the sound holes, the on-off hole in the back, the lack of finer details, and these are just from its former life as a toy. How about these 2 rectangular things hanging off of the bottom? What do they do? The giant mold lines are also really bad on the turret. The gun is a little weird too, and even these are still relatively large issues. If you really want to get into it, there's no hull machine gun, headlights, or brush guards. The 50 cal on the roof is very short. The tools and hatches are all molded as part of the hull and appear sunken in. And I'm really confused why the tank has silver rims. All of these missing or weird details would be fine as a toy. But again, as a model, as something being sold as a model, it really lowers the quality. It's still not a bad product though. It's relatively inexpensive and still carries a fair amount of other positives. It's molded in an accurate color, save for the weird silver running gear. The decals are already printed on, and the duckbill track extensions and the boxes on the back are interesting details. So on a scale of 10 to tank in a box, I'd give this thing solid 7. I actually had gotten one of these kits a few years ago, and had attempted to make it look better. The only upgrade that I still think looks okay is the treads, which were stolen from what is now Pumpkin Tank, as they didn't fit that one. They came with it, but they didn't fit it. Also a few years ago, around the same time, I got this M3 Lee. It has many of the same problems as the M4s do. The on-off switch hole, mold lines, and lack of machine guns and finer details. This one does have this massive, object in the front. This isn't present on the real M3. You'd know that if you've ever actually seen one. So I can only assume this was for mechanical things on the inside. This particular tank I'd rate a 6 out of 10. You can still tell it's an M3 Lee, and the detailing is almost better than the M4's, but that giant block is sickening. So, anyway, do I recommend these kits? Not particularly as models, although they can be saved. However, if you happen to do Green Army Men animations or something similar, these would be great. They have more detail and scale better than the old M4A3 toys. They could also potentially be a decent beginner level model or something to practice painting on. So yeah, they're not without problems, clearly, but they're not bad. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more like it, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching.